What do you think? Does learning Photoshop worth it? If you tell me yes, comment it below for me, or also if you tell no, comment it below for me that I know why you are telling us yes or no. In this video exactly I am going to explain for you does learning Photoshop worth it or not. We have many reasons for learning Photoshop, and also if you be a graphic designer it's necessary for us to learn it, and also if we found a work that we be a marketer, also we need for creating brochure, flyer, business card, email, we need to use from Photoshop. If you don't know about Photoshop, you are a beginner, it doesn't have any different. Without any experience you can start to learning Photoshop, and in this video I am going to explain the 4 things about worth of Photoshop. If you want to know these things, watch my video up to end, and without wasting your time, let's get into it. The first thing is about Photoshop can find you a job, or you can get the job with Photoshop. If you search in any browser that how many works that I can find with Photoshop, they will tell you more than 50 works that without explaining, and you need to think that when a program can find you more than 50 jobs, that why it will not have the worth of learning. And some example, if I tell you about the jobs that you can find with Photoshop is teacher, production artist, photo editor, graphic artist, webmaster, multimedia designer, creative director, visual designer, 2D artist. Easily everyone can use Photoshop that is creating thumbnail. If you be a good thumbnail creator, easily you can assign document with a YouTuber and find a job. All of these work that I named for you is the most common thing that came in my mind. All these 50 works and more than 50 works that you can find with the Photoshop is belong to your interest. How much you have interest about Photoshop and working with Photoshop. If you likes to be an advanced Photoshop editor and you wants to work with the Photoshop, the main time for starting learning Photoshop is right now, this second, after this video. Why after this video is about the worth of Photoshop, and after that you can start learning Photoshop. If you be agree with the Photoshop word, you can start it, and if you don't like and interest about learning Photoshop, don't start. The second thing about the worth of Photoshop is making money. By using Photoshop you can make as much as money you want, but it's also belong to your interest and how much you will spend your time on Photoshop that you haven't come from Photoshop. Don't take it easy.
Me about 11 hours to finish. Get to spend 24 hours on making artwork. And
we have different way for having income from Photoshop. I will explain 4 of them for you that you can watch it and see if you learn Photoshop it has a worth it. The first thing about Photoshop is selling your editing skills. One way that you can have income from Photoshop is selling your skills. How? Now I will tell for you. If you are an employer for a company, when you make design for them, you can create a brand, a logo, a name for yourself. And after you done their works, remove name, remove address, remove everything without design. Only put your name, your address, your personal name that you made it for your brand. And after that you can make a website, and it is time for selling your editing skills. If you do this work, you have 2 income. One income from your company that your boss will pay for you, and the second income is about selling your editing skills. But one more thing, one time when your mind start creative about these kinds of products, it will never stop. Every day, every second, every hours, when you done one project, the second project will automatically come to your minds, and wow, it's time to have other income from my creative by using Photoshop. The second method for making money from Photoshop is creating tutorials. We have different channels. We have more than hundreds Photoshop channels on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, that all of them makes tutorial, and the most popular Photoshop YouTube channels are, as I can tell, Pixel Perfect, Benny's Production, PH Learn, PTC, and all of them have more than million subscribers from Photoshop. And if you think these channels, both of them have more than 5,000 income every month. And now if you don't like to come in front of camera to talk, or you create a tutorial, or you don't like activity on social media, create a package for yourself, and after that start selling that. Every package, every video, every tutorial you will make, your skills will improve. One most common way that also you can make money with that is creating presets and actions. As example, I can tell for you, Pixel Perfect created an action by their whole name, Pixel Perfect. They created, and now it is time for sale it. Everyone who wants to use from that, they must pay for that website. Take allowed to use that actions on Photoshop easily. By clicking, you can remove the background. By clicking, you can color match and everything that you have ability of creating an action, add on that package, and again you can sell it. You know that every day Photoshop gets to be easier. If you compare 1 year ago with now, after revealing the Adobe Firefly, the designer works get too much easy. They can easily have color matching, adding every subject that they want, and that is belong also to your creative, how you can use from generative fill and make your own action, make your own preset, make you can own filter, have income from that. The fourth thing is about the selling mockup images. The most common example that I can tell for you is about the free page web page. If you search about the free page, at the first thing you can watch, they have two parts of product. One type is free, you can easily download it, and the second part is about paying money and downloading that product. Also, if you create mockup, we have a lot of programs that you can make your own page, add your account, bank account, upload your data, and after everyone who choose your data, easily they pay money for you and they will download your product. It is also the one common way you have money from Photoshop. After finding job, Photoshop can make money for you very easy with different type. Every type you like and you have interest about Photoshop, you can use from that and collect your money. Do you know that learning Photoshop is fun? When you learn Photoshop, you can use it in any different ways that you can find. What is be about retouching the image if you are a photo editor. If you are a photographer, you can use it for creating your presets by one click, add it on every single photo that you want. If you are a gamer, you can create your own thumbnails like a gaming thumbnails. If you are a graphic designer, you can create your designs, mockups, banners, flyer, everything you want. Photoshop is a fun, try to learn it, and the most common and creative program that I like it. I
love you, Photoshop.
These three things was about the words of Photoshop that it can find a job or get a job for you or make money for you, and also it's a fun. You have different ways to improve your skills, and the fourth thing that I'm going to point about that is options for learning Photoshop, how we can learn at Photoshop. First thing, play with our mind, the interest of us, how much we show interest that we want to learn Photoshop. And now if you have interest about that, you can easily have a classrooms for learning Photoshop. You can use any package for learning Photoshop. You can have tutorials from YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everything you use, every social media you use. Don't waste your time. It is time to start learning Photoshop and improving your skills and have a good background and career with Photoshop. It was this video's tutorial that I was talking about the word of Photoshop, that it's a little point about word of Photoshop. I don't want to make it too much long, and once you can inside the Photoshop, you will know me. That is not enough about telling word of Photoshop. It has 100% words. Okay, it was this video's tutorial. If you enjoyed from this video, make sure to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and also press the bell icon to don't miss any new single video from futures about Photoshop. See you in my next video.